little things I give my clients, little tip for anyone that's watching this, like, wake up. Like, as soon as you wake up in the morning, yeah, all you got to just lay there and just listen to your breath. There's someone yesterday that didn't make it to today that would love that breath.
Good morning, good evening. Thank you for tuning in, the Kasi Podcast. We appreciate you. We're on episode 17. If you're tuning on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we appreciate you. If you're tuning on, watching on YouTube, we appreciate you. We back. We hope you enjoyed episode 16. We're here with 17. Got brand new guests with us today. Special guests. Gonna have a great conversation. We've got Brad with us today. Brad, how you doing?
Good, bro. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you. So a bit of context, a bit of background. We had our mutual friend Dan Sharp on with Sharp Training and Ray, and we spoke a lot about PT stuff and strength and conditioning stuff and their business, Sharp Training, and we touched on some of the stuff like mental health and meditation and whatnot, and the things that they do, Sharp Training. And you reach out to me. I think you saw that because you're friends with Dan, and you reach out to me and you like, it's a good episode, brother. I can keep it going. And you know, I read it and I was like, oh, nice, blah blah blah. So I just checked your stuff, and I think I saw you had a podcast or a podcast you was on around that time. And I was like, oh damn, he's got a podcast too. And just one of the clips I must have saw, it was like a really like in-depth conversation. So I was like, cool, it's a bit of me. It's not like you're just talking about some like random like night by night stuff. He was really, getting into some stuff. And I was like, oh, interesting guy. And then I don't know if it was that exact moment, but some other moment I mentioned like we should do something at some point in the future. And I'm always learning not learning. I've realized that when you make plans, but when you say things about people, you need to put like a date on it.
Yeah, if you don't give me a date,
yeah.
People say, oh, we do this, and I'm like, sweet. And then I'm like, right, if it's not like, as you said, like, we're going to do it on this date. I was I actually looked at my phone and was like, I'll rate you. I was like, fair enough, that's done, that's concrete.
Yeah, so when I first said it, I really wanted to do it, but, I don't know why I can't speak to what my mindset was at that moment, but I don't know why I just didn't have an exact date. Maybe I just didn't know enough about you. Yeah. But I think that's what it was. I didn't know enough about you, but I followed you and I was going to see everything else that you do. So, we started following each other. I started seeing the stuff you do, seeing your videos, seeing everything you do. And I was like, actually, no, wait, I'm seeing some of this stuff now. I really want to come have him on and have a conversation. Yeah. So it took this long, but because that was months ago, maybe. It was this year. I think it was this year. I remember, but it was a few months ago. So now when I understood that I really want to get you on, I was like, alright, cool. His name's on the thing, it's on the schedule, let's figure out a date. And I sent you the date and you were free and you came down.
No hesitation, bro.
No hesitation. When you know. So when I have some guests on and they do a bunch of things, like you do a bunch of things, it's always hard for me to be like, I don't want to start reeling off some of the things they do and I get it wrong. So sometimes I just like, when I know they do a bunch of things, I want them to like tell people listening who don't know you, like, we'll get into a bit of it more in depth, but briefly, the things you do.
What, life? Work?
Yeah,
business?
Work, business.
So I'm a life coach.
Yeah.
Launched my business, Melior, this year. So that in Latin, that means for the pursuit of the better.
That's one question I wanted to ask. Like, what does Melior mean? Because you see on your profile, you will see it everywhere.
Everywhere, but so it means for pursuit of the better.
In Latin.
So that's why there's the full stop at the end of it, because that's my goal.
Okay.
Nothing about the past. Nothing like that. For me, it's just everyone I come into contact with is how can I better their life and how can I better mine.
Yeah.
So I started Melior this year, but up until then, I was sort of I played for sort of England colleges and rugby when I was younger. I played at a really high level, and then I'll come on to how that fucked me up. I got a drug ban for that, and then I've always sort of just dabbled in things I shouldn't really be doing. I lived in Ibiza for a bit. I've done 6 summers away, so 6 years for like 6 months. I've gone away. Iron Apple, Ibiza, and that, and then now this is my true passion. Melior is my life now. I mean, that's the movement I want to create.
You also PT.
Yeah, I do. So our personal training was sort of just to get me on the straight sort of thing. I've come away from it really, but a few clients are on my case are like, you can't just desert me now. You're like, you're not getting too big time for me. So I like to do it, the interaction and stuff, but the life coaching is now going to be my bread and butter, my business.
So you were playing at a decent level rugby.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I was 18, and then from a young age, I always had people saying I wasn't ever going to be big enough. So I was a very small child, didn't have enough size of me, and then when I was doing England stuff, I took steroids because it's just all the comments got
people
to me.
Saying, okay, cool, yeah.
Massive build up of it. It weren't like a split decision. It's shit I built up over the years. When coaches and that are telling you, oh, you ain't going to make it. So done that, and then I got drug banned. But the biggest lesson I had with that was I'd done it because people weren't ever going to tell me I was going to make it. I was doing exactly what I set out to do. I was playing at a good level. So even though you was getting away with that, that's interesting. Like, the outside noise come in. We're all so passionate about it. It got to me, but all I ever wanted to do was see a smile on my mum and dad's face at the side of the pitch. And when you sing the national anthem or you're a young lad playing for a decent level, like, I was doing everything I set out to do. But then I got set back because outside noise from someone that's irrelevant. Like, do you know what I mean?
So it's like if you could have for a second in that moment shut all of that down, you would have realized, oh crap, I am actually on the path of where I actually need to be, regardless of what anyone else is saying to me.
I was flying, and then my coach, when I got my ban, was just like, mate, like, you're on the books to go pro pretty much. He was just like, I was going to give you your opportunities. I'm like, you tell me that now.
But was that the same guy that was saying to you?
No, there's loads. I was playing different teams and that, so I had different coaches all firing cylinders at me.
It's crazy. It's like, because that specific comment, but then to be there are quite small rugby players out there. Because that specific comment, like you'd hear it. I'm quite a big guy, and I've always been quite a big guy. So
someone would have said you should play rugby.
Right. Someone would say to play rugby or basketball. It's mainly basketball. Yeah. Probably because I'm a black guy. I don't know. But it was mainly basketball. Like, you should play basketball. But I would know small guys, small friends that I have who were small players who would be told, oh, you're too small. Yeah. But even in football, I think about it, like, there's so many professional small players out there that are top players, and they're like shorter than like 5'8".
Yeah, that's mad.
So even in this day and age, I think, how can you tell someone they're too small? Like,
bro, I had it from day one.
So I was thinking to myself, but in rugby, to be fair, most guys would be a bit big. But then I think, there's some small guys in rugby. So I don't know. And another thing I'm thinking about is, where are you in a position? Because I'm a coach now. I'm a football coach. I coach young kids. And I think to myself, where are you as a coach in any sport to tell a kid that you're not going to succeed in this because you are blah, blah, blah?
No different to a school teacher telling you, oh, you're not going to amount to nothing.
It's just crazy to me. Like, how are you in a position where you're like, you've lived a certain amount of life and you're telling young kids?
Bro, it's coaches with should have beens, could have beens.
Yeah.
And they'll hold you back on your path, do you know what I mean?
Okay, so you're young, 17, 18.
Yeah. Playing
rugby at high level, good level. You let some things get to you. You get banned because of drugs. Yeah,
steroid, took some
and then after that, it just...
I ate the fucking ban. So that happened, and then so that was my last year of college, and then I just went to Iron Apple for 5 or 6 months, I think it was. And then that was in 2 years. So that was in 2012. I went to Iron Apple. I was like 17. I think I was, and then it was just drink, women. Don't get me wrong, the rugby thing. After that summer, I went back after my ban and went to play again. But then it just. I got opportunity at a semi-pro club. They said, look, we know what's happened. We want to give you a chance. You know, we've heard about you. We know you've got talent. So I went over there. The love just wasn't there anymore. I was the bollocks, but I just weren't getting opportunities because I weren't a certain person. Then I just said to my dad, just looked at him and I just said, I've had enough now. My dad was like, mate, there's nothing more you can do. So I went away for another 5 or 6 summers, I think it was. And I was just, life happened. You know, I was just drinking. I was doing anything to make money.
There wasn't a purpose or a...
No, I had no fulfillment then. That was all taken from me. I just felt like my name was just black marks. Do you know what I mean? So, on my summers away, and then on my last summer away in Iron Apple, my nan passed away. And then my friend was murdered. He was stabbed in the throat, and then a girl had an abortion behind my back, and I found all out.
This is all around the same.
That happened in the space of 4 weeks.
No way, you got the news of that in the space of 4 weeks. Yeah. What year was this?
It's literally buried my nan. My dad was like, "Go back to Napa, finish your summer off, just forget about everything." And when I got there, I was off the rails, man. My head had gone. Everything from when I was younger built up and just got to me. And then, my friend got murdered like 3 weeks later after burying my nan.
And you just hear the news when you're away?
I was over there in Napa.
Oh, it was over there?
Yeah, it was up the hospital. And then I was in seeing the other lad that was having an operation. And then, bro, I'll never forget this noise. Like, there was like 15 lads in the hospital. So I got a phone call saying, "You need to get up here now." And I just heard screaming. I heard crying. And I've come out. The lads are all on the floor crying their eyes out. And like, the nurse is standing there. Like, and I'm like, fuck, he's gone.
Yeah.
And one of the boys have run into the hospital room, and I've literally chased after him, like gone to drag him out and that, and then I just saw the boy, my pal just lying there, like just all cleaned up after the op and that. So yeah, that was that. And then I just hit the fuck it button again, mate.
Yeah. What year was this roughly?
2018. That was 17. That was.
So how did we get from around this moment to around becoming a PT? Oh, I don't know how becoming a PT and then having the sort of, I wouldn't say sudden, because I'm sure it was something that happened a bit over time, but the realization of, I want to tell my story, because everybody's got their own story. Tell my reality. And then when you did do that, was there something in your mind of, I'm going to help other people? Is that something that would come naturally?
Yeah, so after all that, I come home, and then I went to Ibiza, and then Ibiza was when I lost the plot. I was probably making maybe 3, 4, 5 grand a day some days like that. Money, drink, everything, and then come back from there. And then I wasn't going away for the summer. That was it. I was done. I didn't have it in me. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, fuck. Reality hit, and then everything from over the years just hit up, and then I just crashed, mate. Depression. So I battled that. Paranoia. I was waking up every morning wishing I was hanging off the back of the door, just like I could just end my life now, and the pain goes. And then I just was in so much pain that I had no choice but to look at life at a positive outlook, because it was either like end my life or just stay miserable for the rest of my life. I just had enough. So
in that moment, that's the only. It's really the only like path that someone sees. Like any moment that's ever like. And anything that has an ounce of positivity in it, it's like your mind just goes, nope, sucks it up and says, no.
That's it.
And it puts a negative twist on it.
I tried every day, and then I just think of something, and then my mind would just go, no, fuck that, you're meant to be sad.
So you went to, you said you found PT and as a way of just helping yourself out.
Yeah, so I got into... I worked at American Express for a bit, but corporate environment, I was too much of a lad. I had no chance. They're all in there, like, all speaking prim and proper, and I'm just like, all right, mate. Like, so then I've always been into the gym. So I just started personal training, but with a twist to it. Like, I wanted to help. Like, there's 100 times more qualified and better PTs out there than me at the time. But then people come to me because I'm like, just come positive energy for now.
How did exercise help you? Like, because I assume in exercise, like, because I understand there's massive implications and things that exercise can help with, like your mental health, and things like that. Was that something that happened to you? Was that something you knew would happen? Or?
It's all people say, it's good for your mind and things like that, but I never saw it as that. Like, I've got a very addictive personality, so when I just was going gym from a young age. It was purely just to get in shape to fuck birds. Sleep with as many women as possible. Even with that, I was maybe doing like 4 or 5 women a week. Some like when I was in Napa, it was like 3, 4 a day, something like that. So when I went to the gym, I just got obsessed with it. Like, so you could say it's good, but then it could be an unhealthy obsession.
If it's not the right reason,
if it wasn't the right reasons. But now it's like a healthy obsession to me.
How did PT and this sort of helping people out and with their lives, how did that blend? Because basically, so when I was struggling with my depression, I put it out there on social media, like I'm battling. And then from then, I sort of just, what I was learning from, like, because I become obsessed with my brain and, different perspective to life.
from what I was learning, I would just project that out. One day I'll just fucking just have this massive rant on my story, and then just people just like, mate, like, I've never, like, where's this come from? And then I'll just put a positive outlook out there, and it slowly just built up. And then as soon as I become a PT, everyone was like, I want to come to you, I want to come to you, I want to come to you. And then that started flying, and then I'm not going to sit here and say I was a saint while I was PT and I was still involved in things I shouldn't have been involved in, but you can't walk away from money sometimes. You know what I mean?
I think about moments where you know or you can suspect someone's going through something. And there's always a moment that I feel when the person is essentially, you know, they're crying out for help, but everybody does it in their own way. So it takes me back to a moment where there was an artist that passed away. I don't know if it was overdose or what. I forgot his name. Little Peep, something like that. It was a Little Peep, right? So I didn't listen to this guy. I didn't know his music. I only really heard about him when he passed away, and everybody was sharing his stuff. But I went on his Instagram. Was it? I think it was after he has passed away, right? Okay, cool. So it's him. I went on his Instagram a while ago because I was like, "Who's this artist?" Whatever. And I was looking at some of his posts, and this was years ago when he passed away. But I was looking at some of his posts, and I was thinking to myself, just looking at the posts and the pictures and the captions, and I was thinking to myself, like, this guy was crying for help. This guy was like, I'm looking at his posts now, and I'm maybe because I know he had passed away, I can see from that lens. But I'm looking at it and thinking, like, this guy was clearly asking for help, but I felt like that was his way of doing it. And, you know, I don't know if those people try and help him out or whatnot, but I feel like everybody, when they're going through a certain thing, they have their own way of asking for help subconsciously. Because I feel like there's a way where, like, because I feel like everybody's got the devils and they've got like the good voice on their shoulders. And when you are going through that moment, the good voice somehow, it finds a way subconsciously to ask for help. So when I hear you say, when you're going through some of that moment and you just thought, you know what, let me just start talking about it and tell people I'm not doing so well, let me just start talking on my Instagram. I don't know, but I hear that might be a moment of you subconsciously just, you're doing that for people for anyone out there who could possibly help. Which I feel like why you may have done that. And it sort of worked out because a lot of people like, I didn't know he was going through that.
For me, it was more like, I'm very much just like, if I've gone through something, I believe it's selfish for me to keep it to myself if I can't project a lesson. Like, people message me like, oh, blah, 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 but I'll just shut it off. Like, when you're going through that, and like, because when anxiety's on top of the depression, you feel like a burden. Like, if my mate didn't answer the phone, I'd think, oh, he had enough of me because I'm down on that. So I just went cold turkey from everything. Do you know what I mean? So that was more of a lesson to just protect it, like, because I knew that I'd come across it like as like a lad, you know, summer's away, you know, just typical fucking Jack the Lad, I guess you could say. So for me, it was just like, anyone can go through this shit.
And that's how we could come across with that's one of the annoying things about social media, is that's how it can come across. People can, you know, someone could go through the craziest of life, but they can come across social media like,
mate, I posted a photo in a hot tub like in Ibiza and I'm living the dream and that.
But really,
as soon as that photo got given to me and I go home, I'm like, fucking hell, I've got to go and sit in the car and go and sell what I can to make some money. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, I wasn't happy.
It's crazy. It's so deceiving. But I feel like it's good that you feel like that, because I feel like, I don't know why, because we're surrounded by humans so much, but I feel like so much as humans, we feel like we're the only ones going through the situation, which is crazy to think, because there's billions of people in the world. I've got
a business because I'm not the only one that's going through it.
You're definitely not the only person who's going through it, but sometimes we go through things and we just think it's just us, no one else understands. But if people had that, what you have in them, and thought, you know what, let me talk about my situation, whatever it may be, you'll be surprised how many people will just DM you and be like, oh my gosh, blah, 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 I went through this, oh, I'm going through this.
Yeah, loads. I get it all the time. I mean, I've not really touched on it. Like, I've had some sexual abuse stuff happen to me when I was younger. That's only literally, I've only told my mum and dad about that, like maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, something like that. So there's always loads of things that link.
Link to everything. Everything is linked. It's just, how is it linked? And, you know, can people recognize it? A lot of people can't recognize the things that they've gone through when they were younger and understand how that's impacted them now.
There's just people lazy, don't want to work it out, bro. They're too scared of the demons, or they're too scared of the reality of what it means.
I want to talk about so Melio. and I see you've got the merch there, Melo there on your jumper. How did you even, because you said it's Latin for
Pursuit of the Better.
How did you even find this? Was this
I ain't taking credit for this, Mark, at all. Yeah,
someone else had it.
I've got a friend who's very, very good in business. She's very, very successful.
Yeah.
Like, probably not anyone her age that's achieving what she's achieving. And I rang her up, I was like, all right, I'm going to be a life coach. And then she's like, right, well, we need to think. She's always backed me. She's like, right, well, we need to think of a brand. I'm just on the blower, like, yeah. And then she'd come up with it, and I was like, yeah, no, that works. And then I wrote my flatmate, he's quality in business as well. He's a coach, nutrition coach. And I ran it past him, and he was like, and he never gasses me up. Like, we're very much just like, you could win the world champions at something, and we'd be like training on Monday. Do you know what I mean? And he was like, no, you're on to something now. Yeah. And then it just stuck, and then that was it.
It's like, no, it is a cool name, because like, sometimes when you look about the Latin words, them old words, them Greek words, it's like it could be one word, one little short sweet thing, but the meaning behind it is so great.
I wish I'd come up with it, but just I didn't.
It'll be a cool story to say, I was doing this one day.
No, I'm doing it.
No, it's cool. So is it March? It was when you actually tried to...
Yeah, March. So basically, I come away from everything I was involved in that I shouldn't have been sort of at the start of the year, because you can't preach a positive life and got financially benefit from people if you're also on a weekend financially benefiting from people the other way. Do you know what I mean? So just took the leap. Just was like, right, everything from my past that I've been involved, I don't want nothing to do with it now. For me now, it's about changing other people's lives. So March it started. I think overwhelmed is an understatement at the support I've had from people.
You can only imagine.
The meaning behind it is just actually happening. Like, I don't plan on it being like, I want to go off. I know it will go global. I've got some decent plans for it. So it's mad. It's weird that I'm talking about it, because I've never thought in a million years that it'd be going like this, and that just every day there's like new clients coming on board.
So what? So for people who don't know, I think people have heard of the term life coach before. I definitely have. But what does it like entail?
So I think when people hear the word life coach, I think people just think, oh, it's for rich people, like lawyers, or do you know what I mean? But I believe everything I've ever been through, every bad thing that's happened to me, every bad thing I've done, every bit of guilt I've built up made me crash. But I want to offer a service I wish I had when I was going through, like, not only when I was, waking up wanting to end my life, but also when I was at the top of my career, because I was at the top of life, but then I ended up at the fucking bottom. And I'm like, how the hell did I get there? 1 minute I'm on cloud 9 and the next minute I can't even get out of bed. So for me now, I want to, whether someone's doing well in business or whether they just want to get out of bed or whether they just want to be happy or a different perspective, I can guarantee that I can make that happen. Do you know what I mean?
Like I feel like you hit it on the head there. You said you want to provide a service that you wish you would have had when you was younger. We did was it last year? We did a shoot with Simba and some other people, like a Black Lives Matter project. Yeah, sick. And when we'll talk about people with different careers and whatnot, and there was something I said there. I said I feel like people should find something that they love, that they enjoy, that feeds their soul, and then find a way to use that to give back.
Goosebumps.
Right. Find a way to use that to give back. And in essence, give back means helping people that you can help. Yeah. That you wish someone helps you with.
If you don't, the thing is with the universe, I don't know, do you rate and look up to any higher power or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So for me, I believe in a higher power.
Okay.
I believe in the universe, the law of attraction, quantum physics, quantum fields, all of that. So all we do in life, all I ever did was, we just take paychecks. We're taking presents. Our egos are fucking constantly getting filled. You're taking praise. You know what I mean? People even look for it. I used to look for it all the time. So give back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's something I'm starting to understand and realize that the past year or so is like, how can I help?
Mate,
how can I help? I have a friend who is actually today, well, by the time this comes out, it would be out already. They're starting a jewelry business.
Yeah.
A jewelry brand, like, top tier, like 14K stuff and 40K gold carat. And when they told me about it, it's a good friend of mine, I met in uni. When they told me about it, I was like, cool, like, what can I do? How can I help? she was looking for someone to do photos. I said, cool, I know someone. I'm gonna reach out to them, get some nice photos for you. She asked me to help her out with some of the pictures, some of the modeling for it. I said, cool, I'm there. When do you want to do it?
Yeah, all the time.
And it's like I'm always thinking about how can I help, and not necessarily give, but help out people. And because I feel like if I just keep doing that, one, it makes me feel good that I've helped out someone.
Yeah, of course, that's the.
And two, I feel like I'm putting out
it's a
positivity in there.
I mean, I'll do it all the time. Like, even when I go in the shop, I'm just like, have an amazing day.
Yeah.
And they're like, or if I'm driving, like, anyone needs to cross the road, go on. Or like, if people are cutting me off, I'm like, mate, have the best day. Whatever you're going through, I wish you all the best. Do you know what I mean? Or like, not even littering or just going for just talking and saying hello to people. Do you know what I mean? Or like, little things that anyone needs anything from me, like if I've got time and it's not going to take emotionally from me, then I'm there. Do you know what I mean? To support, because you need to serve. We're not here for ourselves. We're here to serve other people. Do you know what I mean? We're here to bring an energy into. That's why, like, you can't. When it comes to relationships, what does it teach you? Friendships, if they leave, what's that taught you?
One of our last guests who came on, a guy called Mike, which he does a bunch of stuff. He said something similar to that. But it's funny because he's religious and he said it from a religious standpoint. And he said that as men, we should subdue the earth and make good things from the earth.
Yeah.
So giving and making the most out of the things that we have.
100%.
So along the lines of that, you said about helping as much as you can, as long as it's not taking anything from you emotionally, which I feel like there is where balance comes in. And it's so important. One of my favorite quotes that I try to live by is balance in everything. I feel like there needs to be balance in everything and in every aspect of life. There needs to be a balance. And in this specific situation, it's all well and good trying to help out everybody that you could possibly help out, everybody that asks something. But if you're doing it to a point where you're taking out of your own cup and you don't have enough for yourself, then it's pointless.
I did when I first started projecting on social media, and then I was literally just like, right, so everyone messaged me and I'm like, 15 people, and I'm like, right, you're getting an essay back, you're getting an essay back, you're getting an essay back. Some people wouldn't even say thanks after, and I'm literally left in bed yet, and I'm exhausted. I'm like, why am I so tired? Well, like, I haven't done anything, but I'm like, mentally I'm drained. Whereas now, like, you don't realise, and I guarantee anyone watching this, I'll put money on it, no one has ever said to someone when you've gone to someone for advice, like, are you in the right headspace if I come to you for something? It's always like, can I call you?
Do
you know what I mean? So for me, if I need to go to someone with something, or like if it's like a business idea, I'm like, look, you got 5 minutes, or when you do, like, can you get hold of me when you're in the right headspace to have a chat? You need to. It's again, it comes down to taking. Be respectful of what you're taking from people. Just because people are giving you words, you're still taking emotional energy. Like, even when people reply to a text, they've had to take time out of their day to do that. Do you see what I'm saying? So you need to, like, when you do it, one, be grateful for it. Show your gratitude. So anytime I'm so grateful for you taking the time out of your day to reach out to me. Even if it's just sending a clapping emoji to one of my stories or anything like that. So you have to set boundaries. Otherwise, people, they're energy vampires, they call it. They will take.
That's something that you learned the hard way when you first started this out.
I used to spend days sleeping because I was helping everyone else, but I wasn't helping myself. Do you know what I mean? So I learned that, and then I've got a counsellor that I use every single week, and I just have boundaries in place. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
it's important to understand your limits almost. Understand how much you can actually offer and how much you can't. I often think about having an uncle who, my mum's older brother, who he helps so many people in the family, because my family's quite big. He helps so many people in the family, and I've seen him. I've been with him for a whole day, and I've seen him go back and forth, driving all around London, helping all sorts of different people, and even out, him, because he was really like. To be fair, because when I was growing up, my mum had me quite at an early age. So a lot of people at my auntie's day were around my age. But him, for as long as I can remember, he's always been like an adult. He's always been like a grown man. I've never really seen him as any bit of young. So when I think about it, he was the first, like, closest experience that I got to see in a man, and he has a daughter who is 5 years younger than me. So from 5, seeing him with a child, he's the first man I saw like actually being a man and being a father, being a dad, whatever. So I see the things he does, and I even like right now, if I need anything, I would ask him for help, whatever it may be. But I never I never when I was younger, but now I grew up a bit. I understand. I think, bro, like, does this guy like take time for himself? Like, does anyone else ever ask him like, how can I help? Now, if I ever do really need to ask him for help, I do 100% acknowledge that, you know what, I understand you go through this, you have that. So if you can't help me, it's cool. I understand. But I do ever think, does this guy ever like?
Yeah, it's hard. There's you. I believe I was born with a gift, you know. So like, at the end of the day, I'm a young person, and I'm not just changing like people. One of my clients messaged me like, I've not thought about suicide for the last 6 months. I don't know what you've done, but you've unlocked a part of my brain. Like, for a young person, like this, older people should be having that effect on people. Do you know what I mean? So there are people out there that just, and even you'll give so much, and then one person's like, oh, can't you do that for me? And you're actually like, no, you set the boundary. You will still feel bad. Like if he was to say no because he was just tired, like he will still feel bad. And we'll sit there and then we'll just get erratic and go, oh, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna go and do it. Like, do you know what I mean? So,
what is something that's common with people? Something that when you're helping out people, that you feel like, if there is anything that you feel like is common with a lot of people, and you know it's something that they needed help with.
Getting out of bed, being happy.
Getting out of bed, being happy.
Getting out of bed, being happy.
Is there? It's crazy. It's crazy. Like people like. I understand it, but on the face of it, it's like people are struggling with.
I mean, that's some people's hardest task. Some people could find winning the World Cup one of the easiest things to do, and then another person could find getting out of bed one of the hardest things to do.
So people don't recognize for themselves what fulfills them.
No, but the thing is we're like, I feel like from a young age we're programmed with a certain perspective that everything that doesn't go in our favor or bad happens to us, that we have to look at it as a negative. I've trained my brain that every single thing that happens to me is a positive. Like, it's not like life's happening against us. No, life's happening for you, not to you. Like, life is happening. How many times does something happen and you go, oh, it's like it's the end of the world, blah, blah. And then 5 or 6 months down the line, an opportunity comes that you're over the moon with, or a new person comes into your life because that old situation didn't work out. It comes down to having a different perspective. Yeah,
that's also something that I've been thinking about over the past year. I've been thinking so much over the past year about, you know, sort of what you say, train my mind to understand that anything that doesn't go my way, it's okay, because it's happening for a reason. It's something that's gonna.
It's so simple. It's like our brain is built up over, like, so your brain will be built up over 20 however many years. So you're programmed that way. So like, if people's thoughts can make them sick with anxiety, depression, you know, low self-esteem, if your brain can get you to that low, different perspective, flip the switch. Our thoughts can make us well. They can make us happy. They can make us positive. They can make us motivated. But it comes down to how you look at situations. Prime example, when my nan passed away, broke my heart, fucked me up. Worst thing that's ever happened. Even over the sexual abuse, worst thing that's ever happened to me is my nan dying. Simple as that. She was my absolute world. And then I hit the fuck it button. But then now I look at it and I think, I watched her die in a hospital for a week. I held her hand. I had interaction. Couldn't talk, but I was in her presence. We were still sharing the same air, right? Young child gets adopted, doesn't know, never spends any time with their real grandparents, never even meets their parents. And I had a week, even though my nan was dying and couldn't talk. And that week is more than a lot of people will ever get. Different perspective. I'm so grateful for that opportunity.
It's very important. And you just said something bit about the power of thought. Just the small things, power of thought, the power of the things you think about. I had that a little bit, like on a smaller scale, but I had that a bit where when I was younger, I see my dad here and there for holidays and whatnot. But then there was a brief period where I wouldn't see him for time. And when I was young and I'd go play football for my football clubs, I would, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I'd go training and I'd see like all the other kids, and all the other kids would be there. The dad would be on the side waiting with their bottle of water, and then they'll be going home driving with their dad. And I was mad sad about it, but I was like, damn, like everyone here has got like their dad, or even their mum would be there. But I live like 5 minutes from the pitch, so I would just get on the bus quickly and come. But I was like, damn, like everyone's got
I wish I had that.
Yeah. Why? That's what you think about as a kid. Like, why, is my dad not here? Blah blah blah. And then I got a bit older, and then I realized one of my good friends in school, my form class, I realized I had never heard him talk about his dad. And I started thinking about why have I never heard him talk about his dad? And I've been to his house a couple of times. His mum, his brother. He has a sister. His mum, his brother, his sister. And I've realized I've never ever heard anything about this guy's dad. And then I almost didn't even want to ask because I didn't know what the situation was.
Yeah.
I didn't know if his dad passed when he was younger. Whatever the situation was, there must be a reason. And the fact that I've never seen his dad, never heard anything about his dad, I've never heard him mention his dad. And I thought to myself, bro, I know who my dad is. I've seen my dad plenty of times. I have access to contact my dad whenever I want to. My dad's side of the family is also a big part of family. I know all of them very well. I can contact any of them if I wanted to. And I was like, what are you like even thinking like sad about? Like, you fully well know who your dad is, know who your father is, know where he lives. Go to him whenever you want, contact him whenever you want. There's people who have no idea.
Yeah, trust me. It's like I went for I was with two friends about maybe 2 years ago, I think it was, and one of them, his dad had died maybe like 3 months before, something like that. And then the other lads spoke to his dad all the time and that. And we're sitting there, and then his phone, the lad whose dad's alive, his phone started ringing and it was his dad. And he was like, oh, literally just let it ring, and he's like, I'll talk to him later.
It's little things like
and
that.
And I sat there and my blood is boiling, and I'm like, pick that phone up. I'm like, what do you mean? And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, he'd do anything for that fucking phone to ring. And he said, he's old man. I'm like, pick that phone up now. And like literally picked up the phone and chat, and then my other pal, like the lad was just like, mate, thank you so much for that. And I'm sat there and I'm like, even if I'm in a bad head, like having a busy day or something, come on, mum, dad ring, I'm like, oh, I love you, I'm busy, I'll call you later. Do you know what I mean?
It's like, but in some sense, I don't know why with humans, it's like these things like what's that saying of you don't know what you lost?
You don't know what you got until it's gone.
Until it's gone. It's like such a cliche, and it's said so many times, but it's so in its purest state, it's true. Like you don't realize it. It's very hard. You can do, but it's very hard to fully like internalize and appreciate that when it's there every day and you have it.
It is, but it's being programmed that way.
Right. But I'm saying if we could get to a point of, like, it's recently, like I said, like I mentioned, like, I have a big family on mom's side.
Yeah.
I have half sister, half little brother, but mom's side, got 3-4 aunties. I grew up with, like, so many women in the house. I got an uncle. There's so many other cousins and whatnot.
Yeah.
On my dad's side of the family, my dad's got like about 4 or 5 siblings, so many aunties and uncles over there. I was thinking about it I think it was my birthday recently in April, and I was thinking about it, and because birthdays where you receive like the most love.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, I've got such big families on both sides, and I'm like, because my mom had me and my dad had me when they were young.
Yeah.
I'm like my aunties and uncles' first nephew. So it's like, that's a little bit of an extra because I'm their first nephew.
Like, you've got all that family.
That's what I'm saying. And
I've got my granddad, my brother, my mum, and my dad. There's 4 of us.
Right.
That's all we've got.
And I used to see a girl who only had her mum and her dad here. She was born and raised here, but she only had her mum and dad here. Like the rest of the family that they would talk to was in where she was from. And when I deeped it, I was like, oh my gosh, like I have got such big family. Like I'm so blessed. But it's just that thing of just shifting your perspective, shifting your thought, and trying to every day show appreciation and recognize appreciation for the things that you have.
It's great. Nothing. I'm so believer. Unless you're grateful for what you've already got, nothing new will come into your life.
Unless you're grateful for what you've got, nothing will come into your life.
Unless you're grateful for what you already have, nothing new will come into your life. That's meant for you.
So showing gratitude to the universe for whatever it may be.
When you're driving, I'm so grateful for this car. Like, little things I give my clients, little tip for anyone that's watching this, like, wake up. Like, as soon as you wake up in the morning, all you got to just lay there and just listen to your breath. There's someone yesterday that didn't make it to today that would love that breath. Do you see what I'm saying? So, bang, gratitude straight away. Fill your bed sheets. There's kids in third world countries that are sleeping on a slab of wood. You're in a warm bed, 4 pillows. Go and brush your teeth.
And these are the things that people don't want to hear because it makes them feel some sort of way.
And brush your teeth, and then we're all guilty for it. And then you brush your teeth, and you might go and have a conversation, or you might do something. That tap's running. Kids got to walk 8 miles to go and get that water. Like from the moment you're in bed to the moment, just where you walk to the bathroom, you have got hundreds of thousands of people's dreams there. But we're all like waking up like, I haven't got a text.
It's crazy.
We're laying there and like, before we even got our head off the pillow, we're on social media looking into other people's lives. So like, exactly. And then think about, if you're a girl or a lad and first thing you see is a geezer with a 6-pack or a Range Rover, a bikini, a house, before you've got your head off the pillow, you ain't grateful for your life. You're wishing straight away you had everything else.
It's crazy.
As soon as you start wishing against the universe because you haven't got it already, you're never going to get it. Your insecurities are coming out. Your nervous system's going to be shot to bits.
It's crazy. Real quickly, I met a girl who was from Ukraine, I believe. Ukraine, Russia. I think it was Ukraine. And she was talking about how one of her like wishes when she was younger is to come to London. Wishes to come to London. And I was listening to her say this, and I was like, I'm born and raised in London.
Yeah.
Like where I'm from, I can't wait to like, not so much now, but when I was younger, when I heard the story from her, it was like 4 years ago, I was like, I can't wait to get out here and go see somewhere. And I'm like, somebody's wishing and praying they could come to this place, and I'm like, I can't wait to get out here.
Get out, yeah, trust me.
It's like even what you just said about. People wake up and they're like, oh gosh, bro, no, this person ain't messaged me yet. Bro, and you're like, bro, you just woke up with a nice warm pillow.
Just not even that. Like, not even if you ain't got a fucking bed sheet on, like you've woken up, anything that's not a slab of wood or dirty running water. Do you know what I mean? And like, I think that this generation, society, whatever, is just our vibration is so low because it's all wants, it's needs. Like no one looks at life at. Like, so perfect example, relationship. A girl might be like, I want, a man that's doing X, Y, and Z. And then the geezer might be like, I want to. It's like, you can want it. Do you deserve it? The way that you're going to fall in love is finding out what your soul deserves. Needs, wants, bollocks. It means nothing. How is your soul? Do you deserve what you want to attract into your life?
Even the question is always, what do you want in a man? What do you want in a woman? Why is the question never, what can I offer?
Yeah, what can you offer? What can you offer another soul? Because if you're not healed from previous relationships, all you're doing is taking your insecurities and problems. And then I'm a massive believer on that. So I was single for 2.5 years. Recently met that girl of my absolute dreams. Like, she's come out of nowhere.
Amazing.
Little fucker. So yeah, it's. The self-work needs to be done. We're ruining so many people's lives because we're not doing our own self-work. Do you know what I mean?
We spoke on another episode. It was just me and Simba talking, and I don't know how many times I said it on this podcast, but like everything in life needs to start with you. 100% of everything in life, no matter what you want to do, whether it's work or it's relationships, romantic relationship with people, with family members, pursuing your goals or dreams, everything needs to start from an internal place.
Yeah.
And how you feel about it and where you want it to go, what you want to do with that. But sometimes people reject, not purposely reject, not consciously reject, but they dismiss that internal thing. And they're just going to do whatever it is, whatever that external factor may be. And then you get into a position where you can't jump over certain hurdles. And it's because there was something right there.
So every single thing in life starts with a thought, one single thought, Microphones, someone started with a thought for it. The tablet, the table, the fucking shoes, it started with one single thought. Yeah. People pursue things when it's their passion and they have fulfillment in it. You will get rich in so many ways when you're pursuing what you're actually happy and passionate about. Do you know what I mean? Anything forced is just, obviously, so cliche, it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But as soon as you have that one single thought, just fucking back yourself.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of any limiting beliefs you've got.
It's very something I've understood and realized, especially about with this podcast. So I started this podcast a year ago.
Yeah.
But I started it a year ago, July 2020. But the plan for it was summer 2019, and when I had made a decision that I'm going to do it, something I said, all right, cool, I'm going to start 2020. January 2020, I was actually supposed to start the first episode in January 2020. But, you know, whatever, things don't happen the way you plan. But even 2020 came and January came and I realized, damn, I wasn't going to be able to open up the first episode. There was still nothing in my mind that went to me, actually, maybe I shouldn't do this. It was still like, it wasn't even a thing. It was like, okay, I'm not going to do January. Okay, March is coming out March.
Yeah.
Things happened. It didn't happen. It didn't happen in March. I said, all right, cool. It's coming out when it's coming out. But there was always, it's coming out. I'm doing this. It's going to happen.
Speak it into existence. I was the same. I was literally like, I've rung someone, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, but I'm going to launch it at the end of the year because I just want a year to get everything sorted. And they were like, fucking do it now. And I'm on the phone going, nah, because I've got too many loose ends I need to type. They're like, what do you need to do? So I sold my phone or whatever I was involved in. Literally like 2 days later, and I was like, messaged him, I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it. And then it was done there and then. But then again, I don't pressure myself. I've got an idea at the moment for Melior that I want to put out. I want to put it out on the train home. Do you know what I mean? But I'm making sure the right time comes. And if the right time comes, I'm still not ready because mentally I might not be in the best place. You never know what's going to happen in life, but just trust it's going to happen. As long as it happens, it's...
I am a big advocate of that as well, telling people like, just if you feel it and you've got a plan for it, whatever,
it's the worst that's going to fucking happen. You've still got a roof over your head. Like, for me, my thing is just like, if it sends me skin, Dad, you got to lend me some dough. Like, I need to come back home. Do you know what I mean? Or anything like that. Just you're here once. You got one. Do you want to look in the mirror in 10 years' time and look at that person opposite and go, fucking hell, I wish I took that opportunity.
Yeah.
Or do you want to be standing there and go like, I've got to where I want to be, but I've enjoyed every single minute. I can't wait. I love failing. Show any fail at me, mate, because one, I can't make the same mistake again, and two, sweet. If I fail, well, I'll find a different way of doing it.
I said to myself recently, I forgot. I was talking to someone. I said it to recently. I was like, I don't even want my success in my 20s. I don't even want it. I said, give me...
It's scary, bro.
I said, give me all my mistakes, all my failures. Give it to me now. I don't want my success in my 20s. I don't want to see the heights of my career in my 20s. I don't want to see the most money I've ever seen in my 20s.
You want to enjoy it, man. How old are you?
22.
So yeah, I was in Iron Apple for my last summer at 22. Yeah. So you're already miles ahead.
So I was like, give me just everything that I'm going to do wrong, that I'm going to fail at. Let me do it now.
30s are where it happens.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm just crazy because I am getting more in tune with my feelings and how I feel and my energy. And my energy is just like, these next few years, like next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, stuff are going to be happening. Yeah. But I'm just like, don't even give it to me now. Let me wait until...
Yeah, you need to learn. You need to make mistakes. You need to fucking have your heart broken. You need to lose friends, mate. You need to do it all. And you need to embrace the emotion it brings. Like, it's still a life experience. Like, if I could go back to my younger self and just say, like, one bit of advice, embrace everything. It's not gonna last. The feelings you've got are not gonna last forever. Because when I was younger, I always tried to be someone I wasn't.
That's what everyone like.
I was like, I would used to lie all the time to try and fit in. I was like, gained this lad's background because I used to sleep with women, or I was just erratic, like I just do whatever I wanted. And that weren't me, but I was just doing it because I thought I had to fit in. Do you know what I mean? And because I felt pressured to have achieved something by a certain amount of time. Just take time with everything.
And this is what it is, like, especially with the heights of social media and everything. All it does is tells you you need to be doing this if you're from this place, and you need to have this by this age. And in school, that's what it is. Everyone in school,
it's 10 times worse now. Like when I was at college and when I was at school, like it weren't even a thing. I think there was still Bebo going or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So it weren't. I've never had pressure from social media, but I do feel for generations now, because it's like you've got young girls or lads or whatever just fucking dancing on TikTok, and they're getting like, if they don't get like thousands and thousands of views, they're like, why haven't I got these followers and that? Do you know what I mean? And like they're fucked from day one. Like unless they get it different, but it's fucking God help them.
Yeah, it's like when they like people tell you, they sort of tell you what you need to be instead of, you know, telling kids, you know, find out who you want to be.
Yeah.
Because even me, when it was really 10, 11, 16 where I started the journey of like understanding who I am, what I want to do and what I don't want to do. Because 7, 8, 9, 13, 14, I was doing what everyone else was doing. I thought this is what I needed to do. Yeah. I was going where everyone else was going, dressing how everyone else wanted to dress, speaking how everyone else wanted to speak, until I got to like 16. I don't know why I always say this. It was some holiday. I went to Uganda, because I'm from Uganda, family's from Uganda, and there was a wedding out there. And I went there for 4 weeks, way too long. I was there for a whole month. But I came back after some holiday, and I think I'd got into year 10 around this moment. I think it was year 10. And I always say I went to Uganda because I feel like that trip has something to do with it, but I can't pinpoint what it was. Yeah. But I came back and I was looking at everyone in my year, and I was looking at all the kids I'm surrounded around, and I was just like, I don't want to do what they're doing.
I was the same.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I was looking at other people that were doing it, and I was looking at them thinking, you don't want to do it.
I'm it's the same now, mate. I'm literally like, what I'm doing is unique.
Yeah.
There's no one really my age out there that's doing it like. And I'm from Brighton. It's a very ego driven city. Do you know what I mean? So everyone's sort of just like driven by, you know, like financial success, but success is measured in so many different ways. Do you know what I mean? So like, if you're happy and you're succeeding, then fucking that's living to me.
I saw a quote the other day. I forgot who said it. Do you know Jordan Peterson is? Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
I think it was him. I believe it was him that said it. But it was like, so there's 2 parts of it really. The first one is, success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So something that you may feel like you want to pursue in life. Yeah. And you've recognized that this is something that, you know, feeds your soul, and it's something that really makes you happy.
That's powerful, to feed your soul. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah.
And then you recognize the worthiness of it, and it's something that you're doing over time, and it's progressive. Yeah. That's success. And the other part of it is, it says if a man, but I believe woman, man, man. It says if a man is working towards a predetermined goal and knows where he is going, that man is a success. Which is also something I read, and I was like, yes.
Purpose.
Yeah. You're working to a predetermined goal.
And this is the annoying thing, that them words are so powerful. You ain't taught that.
Words, listen, like, if there were certain things that people, like, grown ups could have said to me, oh my word. And especially when you're a kid, you just soak in a lot of stuff.
You absorb
so much. If there were certain things, certain phrases, certain words, certain sentences, even the cliche quotes that someone could have said to me that I know now, oh my word, the way I feel like my mentality shifted quite young anyway. Younger than most. But I feel like it would have taken an even stronger turning point. Because it would have been sort of not approved, but it would have been, you know, pushed even further from adults and people that I know, that I love, that I care for, and that I look up to, as opposed to me going through it myself and then, you know, having to recognize and understand, is this right or wrong?
When I have kids, I'm like, you're like, as soon as you're old enough to read, you're having a secret. I want you to be programmed that you can achieve. So when a teacher says you ain't going to do that, I want you to stand up and go, listen, like, I'll believe anything's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? My kids they're going to have so much belief that the teachers are going to be guiding to them going, oh, can you teach me about that? I think about that as well. But even like with like young, you know, cousins, nieces, nephews, that I don't have really nieces and nephews, but young cousins that I see, that I have, whenever I talk to them, like have a little conversations with them, it's like I'm always trying to sneak in something that they can stick with them, because I understand how society can. I understand how society, where society can fuck you up.
I understand where it could take them.
Like, before you know it, you're in some dead end job and you're miserable and you're not happy and you've got a negative mindset. So you've got to be awake from, especially now with everything that's going on. Like, you've got to be awake from day dot to know that you can, like. You look at all these people like Jeff Bezos, you know, Conor McGregor, Tony Robbins, all of these like elite. We was all born with the same breath. Everyone's just got different obstacles in life, you know, different things they go through.
Different cards they dealt.
Exactly. But then at the end of the day, like, it's not an excuse. Like, just believe in yourself. And there's no reason why they've got there somehow. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no reason why all of us can't be at the top.
I want to ask, what, because you mentioned earlier about, you know, a tip for people, just like when you wake up, just for a second, just, take a second, count your breaths, breathe for a second, really be in tune with yourself, almost like meditate for a second. I want to ask, what are some tips, other than that people can do in their everyday lives, little things.
Just being present
in the
learning
moment.
how to be present. So again, first thing in the morning when you wake up, fucking listen to your breath. That we can cause anxiety just for our breath. I've recently reached out to someone to help me with my breathing techniques at the moment. So there's a lot of if you put my Instagram and the thing anyway, there'll be loads and loads of different tips, but just being present. Like that's just hear your breath. Look around you. Just bring your gratitude into literally all the time. It's not like wake up, write down what you're grateful for or anything like that. Like sleep with your phone in the kitchen cupboard. Do you know what I mean? For the first hour of your day, you've got no need to go and get that phone. But all my clients have to buy alarm clocks. Do you know what I mean? Like your phone is staying in that kitchen cupboard. Do you know what I mean? So in the aspects of like control the first 45 minutes to an hour of your day.
So Melio movement, this is, something people can find and people can go to on your Instagram. Is that where people can find it on Instagram?
Yeah. So Brad Parker _Melio is my Instagram. If you go on there, there's just untold. Yeah.
I've seen from the things you've shared, I've seen so many people. I think you even have a highlight or something of people they're even when I see it, I feel like, oh my, this is overwhelming. So many people talking to you about so many things that they've gone through or that they appreciate you for of helping them. And I feel like at the base of it, the baseline of it is you're providing someone to talk to.
Yeah.
You're providing someone to talk to, someone to sort of unload a bit of things that they're going through. And not all the time everybody has that. Not all the time everybody has someone that they can just message and be like, yo, this is happening.
Yeah.
And not with any return. Because even sometimes I go through that. I have some friends, female males, and I don't tell them, do you want to talk? I might ask something do you want to talk about it if we talk about a specific situation?
Yeah.
But I don't randomly say hey, tell me about something. But when I sense that, they want to talk about something, I would very much just, or if we're texting, I'll just be like, yeah, okay, ... But I would let them, I'm telling them sort of subconsciously, keep telling me I want to know, and I won't really say anything until I know they're actually done. And sometimes it's amazing. I recognize sometimes when I want to talk to someone, and when I do have a good successful conversation with someone, and it's just helped because I've just offloaded a little bit of something.
Yeah, that's all it takes is just because when we're overthinking something or worrying about something, you become suffocated because you play out all of these. So our brain doesn't know what's true and what's not. Do you know what I mean? So we play up these scenarios in the head, and then all it takes is, we already know the answers, but all it takes is a conversation with one person, and they say one thing and you go, let's put to bed. But my service, as I said before we started filming, I don't give a fuck about your past. For me as a life coach, I'm not here to dig into trauma. I'm not here to dig into why your behaviors, but I'm here to coach you, to get you out of a victim mindset. So I feel for
victim mindset.
I feel whatever you've been through, I feel for you. And I will discuss it with you if you feel you need to discuss it with you. But at the end of the day, my job is to get you up here. If you're in a victim mindset, you're gonna stay there. Do you know what I mean? And as long as the energy's matched, I can guarantee it that you will be exactly where you want to be. But it's the victim mindset that people live in because it's easier to live that way.
That time there is just victim mindset. It was like that thing I said about my dad, and wondering, bro, why my dad not here with football?
Yeah, trust me.
When I got older and I started realizing there's some people that have no even an ounce of thought who their dad is, I thought to myself, why am I feeling I need something, something bad has happened to me. Bro, I know I know who he is. I can control whatever I want. It was coming out of that victim mindset. You're not a victim. So that term there is just, that's an important term. I definitely, implore anyone to reach out. Not like you haven't got enough people, but I implore anyone to reach out. Hey, even reach out to me. My DMs are always open. If anyone wants to talk, that's a serious a statement. I'm down to talk to anyone about anything. And of course, Brad, reach out to Brad. His description will be down below. Contact him about whatever. Follow him, see what he's doing. I appreciate you coming down.
No, man,
I appreciate you tuning in. I had a good conversation. I feel like it was, like we said, it's almost selfish for someone to keep their story to themselves.
I believe.
If it's your story, it's your reality. If you want to, you can. But it's almost selfish because there was hundreds of other people going through that or have gone through that.
Yeah, it leaves you vulnerability. It leaves me open, very, very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm open about everything.
Yeah,
There's nothing I won't talk about. There's nothing, because I'm not going to sit here and go, I've smashed life. Nothing bad's ever happened to me. Like, like a lot of shit has, and I've done a lot. I'm not going to say I've done a lot wrong as well. Like a hell of a lot wrong. But I've maybe not have learned from it then. But if I can think about the scenario now, I'd learn from it, and then I can project that onto other people. So, like, that is the meaning of life to me. Yeah,
we spoke about it in another podcast a few episodes back. Vulnerability is
I love it.
It's so key, and I mean, even in some specific relationships, vulnerability is so key.
Being emotionally vulnerable, I believe, is the most powerful tool, because anyone could come at me with anything, and I'm sat there, I'm content. I'm like, I know, like, there's my shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do your research, and that's me. So you can sit down and question me or anything, or you can sit down and judge me on anything. But where I'm so emotionally vulnerable and open, like, I know who the fuck I am.
I've even found myself not recently, quite a while now. I found myself, I don't remember the last time I've got angry with someone. Like, I don't remember the last time someone's done something and I've got angry with them. It's pissed me off to a point where I'm physically and emotionally angry at whatever they've done.
What is this, mate?
There's a quote about...
Mate, there's 9 billion heartbeats in this world, yeah? Like, not one of them should fuck with how you manage it. If anyone that's ever done me wrong in the past, like, that's in the past. Today's a new day. Like, you fucked with me then, you've upset me then, but now you don't deserve any more airtime.
Yeah, it's a quote about... It's like basically permission. Like, you can't give anyone permission to interrupt like your flow, your internal flow. Yeah. And when I understood that, it's like, since then, however long it's been, I don't even know. But no one's ever like,
no one's fucking with
got me angry. I don't remember the last time it was got me angry.
Yeah.
If anyone's done something that no one's ever done any person to me, like, but if anyone has done something that I didn't necessarily agree, I'm like, alright, cool, and then I just move on.
Mate, if you think 4 + 4 = 30, it does, bro.
You can pick that over there.
You listen, all right, whatever.
Nah, man, I really much appreciate you coming down.
Good,
I appreciate it so much. Brad, appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Guys, thank you for tuning in, guys and girls. I did it again. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. This was episode 17. We will be back. As always, comment underneath below. Follow Brad, follow his Instagram, follow his Twitter, anything.
Yeah, Twitter's there, Facebook's there, everything.
Follow that. That will all be down there below. Comment, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're liking. Message us, tell us how you feel about the episode, tell us what you're thinking. We'll leave you to it. Have a good morning, have a good day, have a good night. Stay safe, stay sweet, stay street.